Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? It's the show where you control what's on the agenda. Ask us anything and we're bound to answer. Starring Rick Nash, Corporate King, and the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Hardy. It's Ask Low Blows. Guys, it's the show where you control what the outcome is, and we're going to start basically now with the main event, because this Sunday, like we spoke about on the main show, SummerSlam in Buskers. The thing with, we didn't expect this, we didn't plan this, but we obviously have the woke Keanes, Corporate King and Katie Hardy, my co-hosts, most of the time enemies, so I'm forcing them to team together as the woke Keanes. For the past few weeks, Tony Kenny, because you guys control what the agenda is, so if you want more Queen versus Keane, if you want a low-key comeback, then that's exactly what we'll do. Tony Kenny has been sending in challenges to you guys to decide who the captain is. Well, we've added that stipulation on for your team this Sunday. Keane has held on to it despite being put at a severe disadvantage of, you get asked the same question to list off things and you get given 30 seconds. Keane always goes first, which Katie can just copy his answers, literally say the same things as him and then say one more and she'd win. And Katie keeps losing. So we're going to settle this once and for all with the final challenge right here. And this is championship belt rules. Winner stays on. So Katie, it doesn't matter if you've won 2 so far, Corporate King. If you lose here, Katie is the captain on Sunday. There's no time to go back. All right. So you guys ready? How you feeling?
Shy. I really should have cheated. I seen this tweeted and I've been thinking about it for the last 5 minutes and I still can't think of a single one.
Well, literally, like I said, you can just copy what Keane says, and then if you think of one, you win. It's not difficult,
It's a memory thing.
Short term, literally listen to him, and then just say what he says.
I'm
right.
so angry if you be. I swear, I will literally. I'll put Rick through a table. I'll be angry. I can't because the pillar's in the middle, so it'd be a bit awkward and it'd be a bit weird. But I'll try.
I'll be honest, I'm not confident.
I know a lot of main events, but I also know that I stammer and stutter and deal badly with pressure. So I'm gonna be like, just see the. And then he'll count down. I'm gonna choke.
I can remember SummerSlam matches. I just don't know if they're main events.
We're only accepting the last match on the card.
Last
just
match
clarify
on.
if there's a cash in. The cash in, because the match.
No, I'm not going to be too technical with that. So if you just say the match or the cash in, yeah.
Or the cash, right? Yeah, but the cash in's legal, yeah.
Now I know there's been a cash in.
Right, but you just have to remember it. And Keane's going to go for 30 seconds, and then you're going straight after, right? You have to get on that. Seriously. 30 seconds on the clock, Keane.
Okay.
Tony Kenny, 26-22, asks, my Queen versus Keane this week is list as many SummerSlam main events in 30 seconds. Go.
Lesnar Reigns, Lesnar Joe, Braun Reigns, Lesnar Cena, Lesnar Orton, Lesnar Triple H, Lesnar Rock, Lesnar Undertaker, Team WWE versus Team Nexus, Hardy, CM Punk,
seconds.
Cena Orton, Undertaker versus Undertaker, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog,
12 seconds.
Hogan and Savage against DiBiase and bollocks, I fucking forget.
Nope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is 30 seconds. He got 10.
Okay, right.
All right. Katie, I still don't understand. You have your phone right there. Why you didn't just Google? But, okay.
Bad manners.
You could have cheated, and we're both very distracted. And
it would be cheating if I've already started. But yeah.
And also listening to Keane as well. 10. If you get 10, then Keane retains. It's a draw.
Yes, Champions advantage. Yeah, I like that.
But if you get 11, you are the captain. 30 seconds on the clock, starting now. SummerSlam main events.
Lesnar Reigns, Lesnar Rollins, Lesnar Cena, Lesnar Orton, Orton Cena, British Bulldog, Bret Hart, CM Punk, Cena, I'm panicking.
15 seconds.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Batista, Shawn Michaels, Mankind, Razor Ramon, Shawn Triple TLC wasn't.
1. You got 9.
Well, don't feel too bad because Triple H and Shawn Michaels didn't main event, so you're like.
I did. I took
7.
away a couple. You got like you answered like 12, but there's some like Triple H Batista. I don't think was a
that
main
was
event.
never a main event. You're
I
just
don't.
talking
No,
shit.
that
They didn't even
just,
fight
you
us.
just made that up.
I'm
You're
just,
just
I'm
saying
just
names.
hoping you didn't know.
You got
I'm wearing
9.
an Evolution t-shirt today, so that kind of guided my process.
Cobra Keane, you're officially the captain
Thank fuck.
for the Wokeens on Sunday.
Look, I don't mind this challenge, right? But can we play to my strengths, please, next week? Can you ask me things like, I don't know, movies Hulk Hogan's been in, or
leave the movies out of it. That's not fair.
movies wrestlers have been in, tracks from fucking the Originals album, and maybe like matches Lita has been in, stuff I'm good at.
Tony, it's up to you. It's not up to me.
Tony,
I don't make the
Tony,
rules.
We can name ladder matches, we can name Money in the Bank participants, it's like a little bit of
Tony,
like,
pal, buddy, bro.
what colour trunks Randy Orton has won.
Smug Cobra Keane is my fave.
You don't need to do that.
I think it would be a great idea.
You could play to Katie Harvey's strengths, but who do you prefer? Like, do you know what I mean? Who's a better friend to you? Is it me or is it Kate?
Please don't tweet the answer to that.
We shall see. Tony, you made the decisions. It's a show you guys control. We're going to get to your questions now. Dave Bandana of Talk Nerdy to Me on the Lobos Network got on and asked, what's the most memorable class that you ever took in school?
Yeah. You know the way you get substitute teachers in, and most of them are like, do your fucking work, shut your fucking mouth, and we're going to be done in 40 minutes. Fuck you, I hate you, die.
Aggressive.
Maybe that's just my substitute teachers, I don't know. But we used to get this one substitute teacher in, and he'd come in and he'd just say, right, here's all this work for you, we're not doing it. And I was like, oh, cool. And he'd be like, right, so who here knows how to do CPR? This is how you do CPR. Then he'd come in another time and be like, right, here's all your fucking French verbs you can do if you want, but who knows what to do in the event of a fire? And he'd show you, no, but he'd teach me things about fucking real life that are actually important. I dropped French the second I turned like into transition year or 5th year or whatever it was. Whereas, you can't drop fire safety. You know what I mean? You need to know this sort of shit. Like, and CPR and like other things. I remember like, and then some days it'd be like a Friday and he'd come in and just be like, right, let's just have a laugh and just have the chats because there's no point in, you're 13, it's first year, just be happy. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I remember those I only had them a handful of times, but I remember all of those classes and it kind of stuck with me in the way that like doing French verbs wouldn't.
That's really nice. That's a really nice story. I'd love to see you in a fire evacuation.
I'd probably still be shit, but I'd have the idea.
Keane, people are burning.
Keane, why are you blocking the doorway? There's some Pringles here and I dropped them.
Keane, literally someone is burning. Just move out of the way.
Am I right, guys? Keane, move.
You'd be the kind of person who, like, I have to block the changing rooms from because they go back for their belongings, and there'll probably be a school bag full of custard creams or something.
Oh, you're that person who blocks people from fucking getting their belongings. I mean,
it's my job, yes.
They're gonna burn. They need to get them before they burn.
Yeah, like
custard creams are okay. That's fine. It's okay if custard creams burn.
No, it's not okay. Because have you ever had burnt custard creams?
You're still gonna eat them. You're like, that's not an option. Like,
I'd actually buy you a new packet just to evacuate the building and not put people in danger.
If everyone is burning alive, would you rather them burn alive without custard creams or with custard creams? At least they get to enjoy their final moments eating something they like.
This took a dark turn.
I also feel that he didn't teach you very well.
No, he didn't teach me those things. Those things are just things I came up with recently.
He's just winging it with that. Most memorable class that you ever took in school?
I really fancied my history teachers.
Really?
So I sat in the front row and giggled every time they asked me a question. Or, like Keane, we just had a mad teacher and he taught us CSPA. Like, the most bollocks class.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Social, like civic, social, political education that had nothing to do with anything.
No.
And you had to go on like this field trip for it. And he took us without permission to a building site in Carrickmines. And we just went under the fucking safety rope and like walked around taking photos like, yes. Because apparently it was some like historical building being knocked down and he was a bit sad about it. So we walked around the building site taking pictures of it. And then we went to the People's Park in Dunleary for a picnic where we brought our own lunches. I went to another privileged school, by the way.
No, actually, if we're talking individual classes, just one class in particular, you mentioned CSPE, and that reminds me of I was in a CSPE class, last class before lunch, the day GTA 5 came out. And the hype for this game was unbelievable. It was one of those classes where I was in kind of like the dickhead class where there was a lot of dickheads in it that weren't really respectful. And the teacher was a bit of a prick as well, so it kind of escalates, like a teacher's being a prick, then a class is being a prick back, and it gets up and up. By the halfway point of this class, everyone's queuing at the door to go. It's like, why are you queuing? GTA's out. And I swear, but it was like, but no, the class just didn't happen. It just got abandoned because everyone wanted to fucking play GTA.
Nice.
And it was, you know what? It was worth it. Great game.
I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Henry right now, who was, if anyone went to my school, they immediately know where this is going at this time. Mr. Henry was the much maligned, he was our civics teacher as well. He did CSPA, he did geography and history with us, and he was unlucky enough to get me at my peak of being a bollocks, like, for all three subjects. Like, he was a poor man. He was just beleaguered and sick of the job and had no patience for it, so he'd just kick you out the second you did something, right? And then I used to act the bollocks because he kicked me out for nothing and I have nowhere to go. Because if you got kicked out, you had to go up to the bench in our school, it was called, which is right outside the principal's office. So I'm not going to go there. I'm going to get caught. So I'm just going to fuck around and mess around with the school. And then, like, he's so sick of being a teacher that, like, he just kind of go, read 3 pages of your book, and then he'd go into his back office, but like there was a window in his back office where he could see him, and he'd just like sit down and open the Irish Independent and just start reading and just like not doing his job. So one day I remember I got kicked out. Like, no, I actually did this regularly, and then I snuck around to his back office, and then like I sat down in a seat and just opened up the Irish Independent and started reading. The problem is that his office was facing away from him when he was sitting in the class, so everyone in the class could see me, but his back was to me. So he's the only person he didn't know me. So everyone is dying laughing and he doesn't have a fucking clue why. Now one day, this is the most memorable one, and it's actually got a wrestling tie-in. I got a watch that I was really psyched by. This was like the cutting edge of technology in 2001. It was a watch where you could record like little sound bits. You could record you talking into it, and then like it'd just take a 10-second clip, and then you press play and it'd play back the clip, right? This was when they were doing the Limp Bizkit My Way videos for like Stone Cold and The Rock, and there was my favourite song. Like, that's my favourite feud ever to this day. Like, so I was obsessed with this song, so I recorded it onto my watch. And then like one day I realised, oh my god, we're in Mr. Henry's class. There's only one thing that's gonna happen here. So for once I acted like a good kid. I acted like I was on my best behaviour. I didn't do nothing. I did whatever he asked, and everyone else was acting the bollocks because it was a Mr. Henry class. And then like, but my mates, no one had ever rat me out like either. No one had ever tell that I was the one acting the bollocks. So I just kept every few seconds when I get quiet, I just like I just press play and it'd be like, yeah, this time I'm gonna let it on. And then I'd start like looking around like, and he just drove him insane. For whatever reason, this just triggered him. He fucked every single person out of that class. I'm not shitting you. He kicked every single person out of the class except for fucking me. And I'm sitting there in the class where he's broken, he's defeated, he's sitting at his desk with his head in his hands, still not understanding why, no matter how many people he kicks out for laughing at like the noise, why the noise doesn't stop, because he keeps getting it wrong. He doesn't know where it's coming from until it's just me at the back of the class sitting down, still pretending to be good at reading my book, him sitting at his table with his head in his hands, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't not, it's just the two of us. And I just go, yeah, this time, and he just looks up at me and I just go, I'll show myself out. It was the most epic day. I'm so sorry. It ended nicely though. After years of me torturing him, we ended up coming good, and I actually ended up like building a strong interest in like politics and history and stuff because of him. Like, because I started to pay attention and realized he actually knows his shit when you listen, but just he didn't have to respect the people would listen to him. And I ended up like actually paying attention in his classes. I grew up and copped on. Then when I was like, I got an A1 in my English for the Leaving Cert, and like when we were doing our graduation, I got like kind of a certificate and called up and stuff like that. And on my way back, like I just see someone's hand extend out, and it was him, and he shook my hand and he's like, you did all right in the end. And I was like, I'm so glad we got to have that nice moment. Like, we've come full circle here. And that's probably like, he could be dead now, I don't know. But that's the last time we ever saw each other, and it was nice. It kind of came full circle.
You went to school in 2001.
Yeah.
That's what you took from that story.
Yeah. Oh,
he was 3. He was still pissing himself.
Yeah. Oh, 1. That is mad.
I know, yeah, it's depressing. We don't need to go there. But I got to watch WrestleMania 17
Exactly.
live, so,
I mean,
you know.
you also have like a cool watch with My Way on it.
Yeah, and I got to watch WrestleMania 17, and you got Mordecai, so go fuck yourself.
Mordecai was cool. Right.
Kendo CCFC got on and asked, what's the one thing that most people can do that you can't? For example, I can't snap my fingers properly.
Well, we discussed this last week. I can't take change in a shop.
Yeah, Jesus. There's a lot now. You've actually got a really long
I have
list.
quite the list. So I was trying to think of something like pre-broken elbows that I can't do. I can't remember numbers. I think I have numerical dyslexia. I can't remember phone numbers. If someone says digits to me, I can't remember the order or what they are. I can't remember PIN numbers. I have to write everything down.
Jesus.
Just numbers.
Even your own, like, do you have to, or have you bet that into your head?
My own I can remember, and that's it.
Jesus.
My own and my ma's, that's it. They're the
Jesus.
only two numbers I know.
Yeah, interesting. I like how you remember your maths as well. Like, it's just how much you're spending her credit card. Fantastic. Keane, and you can do that, or you can't do that, everyone else can.
A lot.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
I don't know. Like, nothing in particular stands out. Like, I don't know. Like,
what's one thing that people, like, the way you get to this question? So for me, I can't ride a bike.
Right.
And then whenever I say that, yeah, that's the reaction. I was just about to say, people go, whoa, what? That's the thing. Like, yeah, I can't cycle a bike. I learned when I was like 3 and I was unstabilized, then I crashed into a wall, and then I just got a deathly fear of it. Now, I don't have that fear anymore. I just haven't learned, and I'm 32 now. So I'm like, I guess I'm not learning. So yeah, that was it. Yeah. It's mad. I still think my ma, like, she deprived me. I still think, like, she let me down a little bit there. Like, kids need to know how to ride a bike. It'd be really handy. But yeah, so I can't. So and people react that way. So what do people react to you when you say you can't do it? What they go, what? It is an audio medium.
sorry for anyone who checked their phone there just to make sure the podcast is
Literally,
it was like, you know that meme of Alan from The Hangover where he's got like all the numbers zooming around his head trying to figure it out. That's what Keane looked like for a split second there.
No, because there's so much. I don't know. I can't pick one. Like, it's.
I think we went through the list before, didn't we?
Yeah, this
like,
is what I mean. It's a very deja vu question. All the basic.
Like, can you cook for yourself?
Anyway, like, the point is, I mean, if you include kids, surely most people aren't necessarily in that bracket.
But this is the point. We all have things. You know what I mean? I have more things. Like, I couldn't swim until I was like 12, 13, and then I'm like, fuck this. It's ridiculous. I'm not letting another thing go past me. We all have things. Like, yeah, so that's kind of the point.
Oh, yeah.
I can't jump.
What?
Oh, yeah, you can't leapfrog. Yeah.
But I can barely leave the ground, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there any wonder in hindsight?
I did that dive because I wanted to feel what the other kids felt, okay?
Okay, moving on. Clueless Nerd got on last. What animal do you relate to most? Mine is the humble giraffe on account of me being so tall and awkward looking.
I think the answer is dog for me, just because dogs are so different. There's so many different kinds and so many, even one same breed that have all these different personalities and characters. Everyone relates to a dog somewhere along the line. So I'm going to say dog because I'm sure there are plenty of dogs I can relate to.
Yeah, this is a dog or animal you relate to.
The sloth from Zootopia.
I fucking love that. That's one of my favorite moments ever. Where it's like,
so good.
Amazing.
That's what I'm like at the end of my workday, like just smile placid on my face, moving slowly, just like, ah.
Amazing. Animal I relate to most. For whatever reason, monkey just came into my head. Like, but I'm not like high flying or athletic, like, so that's strange. But I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of like hyperactive, but like I'm also like, you know, monkeys can be intelligent and calculated. They're the most intelligent animal outside of humans. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm super intelligent or anything, but I'm like, whereas I relate to them because they seem chaotic, but they also like, there's method to their madness. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm writing a fucking shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm writing a shit Tinder bio. Like. Brown with No got on and asked, any scaffolds going, lads? Asking for a mate to follow up. Any drummers going, lads? Asking for a mate.
So for your drummer issue, I'll just say that I used to be a drummer, and all I'm saying is it could be worse. I can't give you a drummer to, you know, join your band, but I mean, there's a band in the past that had me as a drummer. So think of it as it's a positive to not have a drummer because it could be worse. You could have me. So already you're ahead of the game when you think about it. You'll hopefully find one at some point.
Katie, I feel like I'm insulting you by asking any drummers.
Well, I can't drum. Couldn't before though either. So
that's fair enough. You're not inconvenienced at least.
I can give you a retweet to try find a drummer because I used to go to a lot of local gigs and stuff, and I'm still in touch with a lot of my old band people.
And if there's any drummers out there listening, like, you know, get in touch. Like this, it's the project they're working on. It's Butch from OTT, it's John Hodgson, the cameraman from OTT, and it's Aina as well, who's an accomplished musician himself. Recently, kind of hung up the records. I don't know. He's kind of moving on to a new project with these guys, and they're just kind of messing around. I've been talking to the lads, and they're really excited about it. But they are looking for a drummer.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they're good. Like I've heard like demos.
They're
and
really
stuff, so
talented.
if anyone out there is, you know, drumming and stuff like that, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Get in touch and we'll be a middleman in that. Or he's tweet him at Brown with no as well. So there you go. John McSarron got on and asked, you've been abducted by the big heads Cromulons from Rick and Morty. They tell you to show me what you got. However, in this reality, you don't sing an original song, but a song to do for karaoke from any period of music. What song do you choose? Karaoke.
Oh, first part of that went over my head. I've never seen Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I hate Rick and Morty.
I've watched a couple of the shows, actually, I have, but it just didn't click with me.
I saw one episode. I didn't like it. It's not me. I normally don't hate TV shows because I don't watch them. But no, it's not for me. But what I will say, to answer your question, obviously you got the USSR national anthem. Obviously that's the first thing that pops into my head. Always. But
how would you sing that? Is there words?
Yeah, but it's Russian, so I have to learn it. But
could you sing but you know what I mean? I can sing like foreign songs, but like I'm not singing the actual lyrics.
You don't know.
I'm singing, like Minoru Suzuki. I'm like, that's all. Herashi de dutabade.
I can't even replicate
it's offensive,
noises.
like, but whatever.
I'd have to look at it first. But so for me, it'd be Around the World by Daft Punk, just because I'm lazy. I'm not arsed doing more than 1 or 2 or 3 words.
Around the world. I actually need to see this.
You've nailed it.
I actually need to see this at some stage.
Well,
would you do it like at a low party?
No.
Yeah, no.
It's essentially what Nathan did. Basically, you just pick the one with the least amount of words.
It'd be hilarious because there's a big build up to it, and then the lyrics gonna get us. Around the world, around the world. Oh my god! Around the world. Oh, please!
That's a concept for like a YouTube channel.
That is hilarious.
Just cover songs that have like one word and just say that word over and over again. That's an interesting one. But you probably you get copyright claim now. Fuck.
Amazing. My karaoke song, usually my default will be Teenage Dirtbag. Because it always gets a pop because I can do the girls part, and like when you do that, it always gets a pop, and everyone knows and loves that song. My first one was always by Bon Jovi. No, my first one was Gangsta's Paradise. Like when I was like 8, I did that and won a karaoke contest. If I was doing a song in this instance, it'd have to be Tribute, because that's one of my songs anyway, and like that fits this. Play the best song in the world, or Lead Your Soul, amazing. Like that just gives me an excuse to sing Tribute, and I don't get that very often. So Foxnell23 got on and asked top 10 favourite movies. This question is for everyone, and I think he's asking that for Corporate Keane as well. Have you seen 10 movies?
Right. So I saw the question and I tried to do the maths. Let's go. In-Betweeners 1, In-Betweeners 2. There we go, that's 2. Jackass 1, 2, 3. 5. That's 5.
Halfway
I
there.
watched a movie with my dad a while ago called Christine, a car that kills people. It was actually deadly. I loved every second of it. 6. I saw The Commitments, so that's 7.
That's on my list too.
Yeah,
I love The
I like
Commitment.
that
right.
movie. All right, so that's 7. These are not
I feel like we're like really like targeting one demographic. Like people who like Rick and Morty hate us, and if they don't like The Commitments, they're like, who the fuck are these guys?
Green Street, it's hated by a lot of people, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Because,
I think it's loved by a lot of people as well.
I
though.
love Green Street, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of my favourites.
I think it's because we're Irish. I think people from England hate it because his accent is the worst.
Right.
Yeah, but he is so attractive. You would forgive him for talking.
Loves the Hooligans.
But he
That's
wasn't a
more
hooligan, that
fucking
was the
right.
point.
Like
He was a little nerd. It He was like you if you'd been like a football firm.
Oh no, I'm not talking about Elijah Wood being cute. No, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, right.
I do love Hooligans.
Amazing.
Did you prefer him as the football hooligan or as Jax from Sons of Anarchy?
Oh, you just killed me. No, because he wasn't my favourite from Sons of Anarchy.
Who's your favourite?
My favourite was Opie.
That's reasonable. I'd have gone with Chibs because I just thought he was the funniest.
Kay was also...
You're on 8 movies.
Oh, no, not silence. No silence. It's still.
Oh, you're okay. You can like think.
2
more movies you've ever seen.
I feel like you've mentioned
any kids movies.
Some movies to us.
You have talked about movies before to us. Did you watch any movies when you were a kid? Like any come to mind? Like I've got kids movies on mine. Like
I actually watched all the Saw franchise. I just don't.
There you go.
Like, I just don't remember.
You're on like
them all.
15. Like then.
I can't. I think it was 7. I think I saw 7 Saw movies, but I don't remember. I couldn't tell you which.
Yeah, it's just scenes more than the actual movie itself.
I probably couldn't watch it now. I think it's because when you watch one, you kind of get desensitized to it, and I watched them all at once.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'd be like, but at the time, I think it was like 12 when I was
Jesus.
But I was peak edgy at that age. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, this is cool.
Fucking edgelord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that. I mean, there's some movies I've watched. I can't really rank them, but they're there.
That's fair enough. Katie Harvey, you're gonna have an interesting list.
Yeah, I fucking love films.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my all-time favorite is Con Air.
Okay.
Then it's Detroit Rock City, which not a lot of people know, but it's the Kiss movie, and it's amazing. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Right.
The Commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I had more. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Love it.
Then I had... Oh, fuck, I should have wrote these down because I was only thinking about them earlier. Avengers. Civil War. Sorry, Captain America Civil War is my favourite one of them.
Okay.
Oh, God, I feel like there was... I have seen lots of movies, by the way,
I think
Keane.
you're a fake movie man.
George of the Jungle.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, these are like my feel-good, watch 7 million time movies.
Yeah.
And I love Save the Last Dance. Is that 10?
Not judging. I don't know. I lost count.
Also Armageddon.
There we go.
Just
Stick
to
that in
point
there.
out, I watched Fight with My Family. That's the last
a
time I was
good
in the
movie.
cinema, and it was good, so I'm going to put it up there.
It's a good movie. You've been to the cinema. That counts.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a lot of stuff that I saw. I remember The Disaster Artist was pretty good.
The Room and Disaster Artist. You have to watch them both together. They're amazing.
Oh,
hi, Mox.
I watched... Man, this might be number 1. Mall Cop. Paul Blart Mall Cop. There we go. How did I not even... That should have jumped at me. That's a deadly movie.
It actually reminds me of one of my favourites, Mallrats.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, yeah. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I
Yeah.
can't believe I left out one of his movies.
Nice.
I can't believe it took me that long to say Mall Cop. I nearly rewatched it the other day because I just think it's so cool.
Nice. For me, Pulp Fiction is number 1 easily. I've only watched it there recently because I'm watching all the Tarantino movies back. Kill Bill Volume 1 is actually in there. Like the second, like the last hour of that, it's just a fucking adrenaline ride. Keane, you'd fucking love that movie. Because it's very like wrestling related. Like it's build, and then it's just battle. And like it's so good. Like I might have enjoyed watching back Kill Bill Volume 1. It made me conflicted. I think I enjoyed watching that back more recently than Pulp Fiction, though I think a lot of that was just due to time and the mood I was in when I watched them. Do you know what I mean? I was ready for Kill Bill Volume 1 and I was like, whereas Pulp Fiction I was a bit tired. So I'm still going to keep Pulp Fiction number 1. The Commitments is on there. Inside Out is my favourite ever like kids movie. Like I adore that movie. Avengers Endgame I put in there as well. I like that like affected me. Like I was like, right, this is because of how big of a franchise, how tough of a job. I don't know that or like Infinity War. Like 1 or 2. If I could
It
put,
feels like you can only put one in, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like,
if I could put one of them in as a whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because both of them are great and actually affected me. What else do I have? I've so many. You gotta have Shawshank. You gotta have that in there. There's some like weird movie. City of God is a really good. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Watch it. It's the Brazilian Goodfellas, and it's really good because it's Goodfellas. Like it's the kind of balls of Goodfellas, but it's telling a story about poverty and social injustice in Brazil as well, but it's not in a kind of lectury way. It's a really it's like Goodfellas, where it's an entertaining movie. There has to be a mob movie in there. Not a big Godfather guy. Not that I'm not a Godfather guy, but like I prefer it as I like Goodfellas better.
Have you ever seen Mafia, the parody of the Godfather films?
No.
It's amazing.
I'd be into that,
and it's all like Saturday Night Live alums in it, but it's very, very good.
Yeah, because the Godfather is so iconic, it's very memeable. So I'd be very
really
into
good.
that. Yeah, I could go on for ages. Yeah, I could.
I
want
to take out Save the Last Dance and put in Blazing Saddles because I can't believe I forgot that. That's like one of my ultimate like feel good
nice
putting on movies.
Do you know what my favorite? I was thinking of this because I'm like I have to get a comedy in there. My favorite comedy ever is 40-Year-Old Virgin. Love that movie. Could watch it all day, every day. Like so, like as weird as it seems to put that in the top 10 movies list, it's not cool. Like it's not like showing your, but like genuinely, if I had to pick 10 movies to like watch for the rest of my life, that'd be on it.
I used to get death in film school for not like having cool taste and like in Michael Bay and the Con Air being my favorite film. I don't give a shit. Like there's just stuff you enjoy. Like I didn't put an Adam Sandler film in. I should have put Adam Sandler in. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I like people who I trust people. My favorite movie reviewer is Mark Kermode. His favorite movie is The Exorcist, which is so like mainstream. It's like if you're talking like horror movies, I have to put in Babadook. I'm putting that in there. The Shining is also a horror movie that I love. Mark Kermode, though, like, why I like him is because that is, like, he's almost embarrassing himself by admitting that as a highly respected, highbrow film critic. You know what I mean? By admitting that such a mainstream horror movie is one of his absolute favorite of all time. But that's how I know he's honest, and that's how I trust his judgment, because he's not trying to be hotty-toddy. He's not trying to be like, oh yes, this is an art house, so this is like Dave Meltzer, where it's like, oh yes, this is in New Japan, so 6 stars. I'm going to increase the star rate. He's not like that, you know what I mean? He's just like, I like this movie, so I trust his judgment on it, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for that, Foxy. I enjoyed that question. Connor O.B. got on and asked, I think we were going to enjoy this as well. After last week's brief discussion on show endings you were disappointed with, what TV show endings were you really happy with?
Okay. I was really happy with the ending. It's usually sitcoms I'm happy with. End of The Big Bang Theory was amazing.
Oh yeah.
It was a really good ending.
Like
really
after a dip of 8 years, they ended strong, yeah.
I really enjoyed the ending of That 70s Show, apart from Jackie and Fez's ending. That ruined it on me. Everything else was perfect. Like her and Hyde were endgame, but apart from that, it was amazing. Yeah. Scrubs had a really good finish.
Did it? I didn't.
Well, if you don't count the last season.
Yeah, I didn't stay with it.
They did Emotions really well. And House, one of my favourite shows.
Oh, my mum loves that show.
Yeah, but not a lot of people watch it, but it's amazing. Yeah. And like the finale was batshit, but it really suited the series, and it was really, really strong. Okay,
Corporate Keane, you're a bit more of a TV guy than a movie guy. Endings of shows you really liked.
Shows that I've watched, like a proper series with like an ending and stuff. It's been a few years. I don't really remember a lot of them, like Prison Break and stuff like that. I don't remember any of that.
Still hasn't ended. Another season coming out.
Oh yeah. It actually wasn't an ending on that. But I remember there's 2 endings.
The main ending was spoilers. It's been out 10 years. Was Michael killed himself to save Sarah.
Was that not the alternate ending?
No, that was the ending to the made-for-TV movie that came at the end of season 4.
Yeah, that's pretty confusing, so I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that.
I was happy with the ending that I considered the ending.
Breaking Bad. What else? Breaking Bad. I just don't really remember.
I wasn't mad on the Breaking Bad ending. Now, I'm mad on the last series. I don't think that dropped in quality at any stage. But the ending, I was like, oh, you tie things together a bit too nicely. I'm not angry, but I'm like, oh, he died. And we knew he was going to die. And it wasn't really creative. And there wasn't, apart from what happened to Jesse, which I'm like, he got picked up by the cops. We could hear the cops coming. There wasn't any mystery or anything left.
I thought about this question on the bus, and one shot that came into my head that I actually do remember was Love Hate. And one thing I loved about the ending of Love Hate is the fact that if it's done, which it is done, like they haven't confirmed it, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right, it's done. And it was a very conclusive ending. He got shot dead in front of his son with his own blood poured onto his own custom runners, which was like, and there was a lot of like everything was kind of tied up, and there was kind of a lot of like I just thought it was very kind of poetic. I don't know how to word it, but I thought it was a solid ending. But if they ever did want to bring it back, he got shot in the chest. We didn't actually get to see him. He wasn't shot in the head. It wasn't like he's not dead. You know what I mean? You could technically just say it was a wake up call. He nearly got killed. He got shot, but now he's back. Kind of way. But obviously, it's also a good ending in its own right. So that if they want to shut the door completely and finish it.
Well, they can go without him. Like, he was only the main character for the last 2 series.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, John Boy and Robert Sheehan were the main characters for the first 2 years.
Yeah, but he was always the most entertaining.
Yeah, he was the heart of the show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if you take him out, who do you? Fran maybe, but it's
like I think if you reboot Love Hate, you reboot it with the kids. Like kind of the way that it's like crime always continues. There's going to be a new generation. Don't bring back any of the characters. Maybe you can bring back Fran as like the grizzled old vet or whatever. But like no, Fran didn't die. Fran got raped though, didn't he?
Yeah. He got assaulted. But I remember it looked like there was questions over if he was dead or not because it was like really bad, whatever. But what was I going to say? Do you know how I really love Hate to get rebooted? Like really, 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 how I'd really, really fucking love it to get rebooted in the form of a game. I want GTA Dublin, and I really thought that was our ticket to getting it. I really did feel that way. That would imagine GTA Dublin. Oh, so good. I don't know. But yeah, really good show.
For me, shows I'd like to see get rebooted. Oh no, wait, well that's not the question. Just threw me up. The show endings I was happy with. The Sopranos, iconic. The Fade to Black, most genius ending ever. Just let people talk about it, made us stronger in the after. Like, just I love endings like that, which just like leave you talking about it for years afterwards. 6 Feet Under is the best TV ending I've ever seen. It actually raised the stock of the show. That was a show that I watched because it's like it's entertaining enough. It's something to watch. But then the ending of it, I'm like, I think that just changed how I felt about the whole show. That just gave it more integrity than the show ever had. And now I want to rewatch it from the start so I can appreciate it with this new light. You know what I mean? It's a really good ending. The Wire ended strongly, wrapped up everything the way I wanted, did their characters right. I'm watching the last series of Orange and the New Black, and I don't know how it ends, obviously, because I've still got a few episodes to go, but it seems to be hurtling towards a brilliant ending, and I love that show and rate it highly. But it seems to be doing all the characters right. Not ending them all happily, but like it's going to a natural good end point for all the characters. Like they'd have to fuck it up bad in the last episode to get this wrong with the way they're going. In terms of Friends, I thought was a really good ending.
I hated the end of Friends.
Really?
She shouldn't have got off the plane. She gives up her career and everything, her dream job, for Ross.
Yeah, I like look, but I don't necessarily. I'm not saying I agree with her choice. But I like how Friends, it was dipping in the last 2 seasons. It didn't die, but it was dipping a little bit. Like, Joey was becoming a fucking meme. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whereas, like, he'd become the best character. He was the guy they span off a series for. But, like, I think even the way that they ended it with, I got off the plane, we remember that catchphrase. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They gave us something iconic in the last episode and they brought it back. I thought the last scene was like in the apartment where they left the apartment. It gave you all the emotions you wanted to feel. Because like your friend, you're like, these are my friends. You know what I mean? When you're watching, especially week after week as it's airing, you're like, these are my friends. Like, I want to feel emotional. I want to fucking cry at the end. You know what I mean? I want that feeling, and they gave you that. You know what I mean? So I thought it ended strong. But I agree, like, you could debate it. But that was the thing with Friends. Like, it made us have these conversations. Do you know what I mean? So whether it was right or wrong, I don't know. We could go on. We could do a whole podcast on that, but we don't have that time. So we're going to move on. We may continue that another week. Declanburn 31 got on and asked if you had a DeLorean like Back to the Future, what would you do? For me, I would travel back in time and make sure Rover stayed in Milltown. I would also travel to the future and get the almanac book, go back to the present and make myself rich. What would you do if you had a time machine?
I know you should, I would go back and like stop JFK getting assassinated. Like, no. What I would actually do is I would go back to 1980s Hollywood Sunset Strip so I could see the original Guns N' Roses play in like a dirty dive bar in Hollywood. Because they're my all-time favourite band. And like, I've seen the rebooted versions. Like, they're cool and they're good, but like, I'd just fucking love to like just go to a different bar every night and hear a different band, because like when they're all in their heyday, I would just love it. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
Interesting.
You're glad JFK died?
No, that's
horrible.
That's not what I said.
That is what you said. You had a chance to stop it and you were like, no, I'm not.
So there's a
look, at least it wasn't Martin Luther King and like, you know, look at him trying to get rid of slaves. I go back.
So there's a really interesting Stephen King book about someone who gets the chance to go back and stop JFK's assassination. I think think that's why it's in my head.
Right.
And then like it splits off into alternate timelines as to what would happen if he stopped the assassination. It's really good.
Right, interesting. Guys, if you're going in a DeLorean, so you get to travel in time.
Just go to different wrestling shows, I suppose, or see, realistically, like you look at all the iconic moments in time. For example, right? I know I rip into you about the whole JFK assassination thing, but if you were to go back in time to stop anyone's assassination, would you really? Odds are you'd show up and pussy out, really, or you get yourself killed, or you like. See, I'd be really scared to go back in time in case I fuck up the timeline.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just don't know. Like it's. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. Maybe go to some wrestling shows and then come back home.
There's part of me that like, okay, so there's the proper answer is saying I wouldn't change a thing, like my life made me this way for a particular reason. But there's a part of me that would love to go back to secondary school and just like fucking slay. With what I know now, I'm like, man, I had so many opportunities. I'd be a different person like that. Like, fuck me. Like, Jesus, I missed out on so much because I was a little nerdy fucking wrestling kid. You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking buy a shift until I was like 16, 17. Like, I go back and like, yeah, I'd just be like, will you just cop on? Like, you know what I mean? There you go. And like, no, not just for like girls and stuff like that, but like just for like lessons and stuff. Now, again, I don't actually regret that, like, because again, like, I think it turned me into a well-formed person that I'm quite happy with. But like, there's part of you that wants to go back and just say, if I did it differently, if I knew what I know now, I'd have had a different life and it could have been pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? I'd be interested to just have an alternate timeline, if that makes sense, and just see how that goes. Guys, we're getting tight for time. We're nearly 45 minutes in, and that's like the time limit for this show. So,
is it?
Yeah, guys, if you haven't heard your question, we're going to keep some questions for next week, and we have to go home at some stage as well.
I've just missed my bus, so I was hoping you'd drag it out, and it would be so late to catch my next bus. That's what I was hoping.
So we will get to one more question, but we will answer your questions next week. Last question is, well, no, we'll get to two. First off is from N. Keegan, who asks, why are wrestling fans mostly, this is Keego of the Couch Pundit on the Logos Network, why are wrestling fans mostly the lowest of the low? From self-hygiene to general ability to interact with other humans, why have they plummeted so low on the possession of human quality scale? I look forward to your abuse marks. That's weird.
Yeah, all right, pal.
That's weirdly aggressive.
Oh yeah, I was saying, like, I said this off. Like, I get the question. Don't get me wrong. It's not what's the word? Invalid question, but it's very angrily worded.
Yeah, like
I quite like most wrestling fans I've met.
Yeah,
I can't say the same. No, that's bollocks. You're
there's an old
You're just looking
phrase.
to buy your merch. That's all I am.
There's an old phrase, and Keego knows it, where it's like, if you're putting down someone, if you're doing a promo on someone, build them up. And what you've done here is a promo where, like, build them up and, like, you know, because if they beat you, who beat you? You know what I mean? If you're putting everyone down, who beat you? You're after cutting a promo on wrestling fans here. And here's the thing. You're also after then asking them for attention. So this is like essentially where you're like, you're fucking losers. Now, give me attention. Now, give me attention, losers. Look at me, losers. Look at me. I want your attention. Give me abuse. Give me your abuse. I'm trolling you. I want your attention. Like, that's like, you're putting them down, like, build them up, because, like, who are you looking for attention of? It's essentially like standing on the side of a road with a homeless person, according to your description, and going, hey you, I'm going to butter you. It's like, you know, there's a funny version of this question that, like, will get a pop. But that wasn't it, Keego, sorry. It didn't really work. And I don't know what you want me to do, because we have to answer it now. You tweeted it in. I didn't want to do this. It didn't work. Send us another question next time.
I'd go back in time and stop Declan from moving Rovers from Milltown because Tala's better than Milltown. Sorry, I completely forgot to mention that in my last answer.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. No, that's good. You cover Keane. Still real deal. Last but not least, got on and asked, hypothetical, if I were to tag with Owen Richards, what would our tag name be? And again, hypothetical, would anyone know where I can order Billy and Chuck-esque matching headbands? Hypothetically speaking.
Andy Steelers.
Andy Steeler.
Yeah. I think that's a good name.
I was trying to think of something clever, like the, I don't know, I've lost it.
I think a good name for this would be Blue Destiny, because it's blue steel, and they have that kind of poser look, but own your destiny. So Blue Destiny would be my name if
Or
I was going
Steel
for it.
Destiny.
Steel Destiny is too obvious. I thought of that, and then I'm like, yeah,
That's
it's
a
just
shite name. Andy Steelers is way better.
Steal Your Destiny. Steal Your Destiny. There you go. Yeah. It's
Andy and Owen's Excellent Adventure.
but I want to see that now. Sorry, you planted it in my head.
Owen,
I know Neuer. I know you both want to make like impressions of single wrestlers. I know Owen Richards. Like, you always seem to get paired up with someone else all the time. But now it's in my
he
head.
does it to himself.
Yeah, stop having chemistry with these people.
Stop having so much goddamn chemistry, Owen Richards.
Yeah, this is it. You're like a really good mate to these people, and it just happens. And now I need to see it. I need to see the style. I need to see the headbands. I'm sorry.
I want to see them wearing headbands and sunglasses.
And coming out to You Look So Good to Me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Who's going to be the Rico?
Oh, who would you make the Rico? Owen Mason.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh my god, no, this happened.
Well, I was just about to say Justy was their tag partner on the last show. No, I know it didn't go well. But,
yeah.
You can't just say Owen Mason.
Also, I don't think we've mentioned Justy enough on air, and I really don't want another.
Oh yeah, no, like Justy is sending angry voicemails. He literally said he wanted us to catch AIDS on fire for not mentioning him. So we will get the Justy mention up. Justy.
I actually had a legit answer. He was going to be in one of the questions, and I got cut off. But yeah, Justy, hey.
Sorry, Justy, you got cut for time. Guys, we'll be back with the answers to the rest of your questions next week. Until then, tweet us in well, actually, I think we've got a full show full of questions we didn't get to. But yeah, tweet us in. We'll probably need a top up anyway, and we can always take an overflow. So thank you for your questions as always. We'll see you Sunday for SummerSlam. The Woke Keanes with the team captain, officially now, Corporate Keane, on Sunday, challenging for the tag team titles. And guys, until then, we will chat to you Sunday. But until then, I've been Rick Nash for Katie Harvey for Corporate Keane. That's the bottom line. There's a lot of blood said so.